This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake your body.
Wake your fuck ass up. Crust out your eyes.
Actress and a critically acclaimed author. Downright Southern girl who probably got a mean pot on the stove, Heather B.
Man, I could smell rice and beans right now with little meat in them. You gotta hook it up either with some smoked herring or some little oxtail or something in there to season them beans up. Go ahead, Sway. I'm just happy you mentioned food.
The one and only, the lovely Octavia Spencer is here.
All right, got me excited, Octavia. He talked about that pot.
Well, let me just tell you, if you came to my house and expected something in the pot,
What?
it would be store-bought.
Store-bought pot?
And she rhymes.
Really? No, I'm not a cook, honey. I would be coming to you like, how you doing? Invite myself to dinner.
Yeah, that's how it goes then.
Yeah.
Weren't you born in Alabama though, right?
I have 6 siblings, a younger sibling, so I never really had to learn how to cook because all of them did.
Oh, spoiled child.
Yeah.
No, Octavia, what were you doing in the Thanksgiving time when the kitchen, everybody was doing stuff? Wasn't you just hanging around? They made you
right here, boo boo.
That's no, I got one. It's a Cinnabon.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a Cinnabon.
That's what I was doing. But you know, and it's funny because I still do. I wash dishes. I mean, I would clean up and I love the fellowshipping that happens when people cook.
Yeah.
But it's just, I was a turnoff. I'm always thinking, ooh, I can't do that because if I get too close to the pot, something will burn and then it'll be me.
Yeah.
And, so I'm always afraid of boiling things and frying things and, just things cooking.
Damn.
But I like it when it's on the plate.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Tracy. That's what
So
Tracy
what do you
come
do
in.
like if you're in a relationship? Are you the cook or the man has to cook?
What do you think?
Damn, really? But you clean.
I clean.
Okay.
If you cook, I'm going to clean, but you have to
Okay.
cook because otherwise we will be eating from the prepared meal section of Trader Joe's.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. That's quick fix. That's
Thank you.
Dang, she clean. So the help was easy for you doing that.
Well, it was a lot easier than cooking. It was a lot easier than cooking. Trust me. And then they would say, "Cut. You really need to shake the bag like you know what you're doing when you're frying this chicken." I'm like, well, how do people cook shake bags? Yeah.
wow. That's okay. Well, that's interesting to know.
We know something.
We got that covered.
Fun fact.
You know, this is your first time on our show. I'm Sway.
Yes. Hi,
Officially.
Sway.
Pleasure.
And did you just invite me to dinner?
Yeah.
Okay,
Octavia,
all right.
you come look. I got a mean fish dinner.
All right.
You might not want to leave.
Catch it, too.
Yeah, you wouldn't be allowed to leave until you clean, though. And that's Heather B right there.
I'm Heather.
Okay, and that's Tracy G.
Hi, Tracy.
And I want to relive a moment with you that really I was really elated about because I know you before that period you have done a lot of work and you have been in the business for a while before the world began to recognize you. And this was a special milestone moment.
And the Oscar goes to Octavia Spencer.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That's my.
What a great moment that was.
It was a great moment.
It became a conversation piece. Like my mother, my sister, my grandmother. I mean, people in the neighborhoods. We really, everyone was so happy for you.
Well, thank you. Let me tell you something. I really don't remember. I mean, I've seen the video enough now, but in that moment, it was just. I'm like, Lord, please just let my knees move. They just locked up. And I couldn't get them to bend.
Yeah.
Please, Lord, don't let me fall on TV with a billion people watching, please. But I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful, and it was fun. It was a fun time, that whole period.
Octavia often talks about how people don't, sort of talk about or respect the journey enough that people take. And I remember Sway brought up that Oscar moment, which we all saw. But I remember sitting in the movie theater with my nephew, watching Spider-Man. I'm like, he dragged me out to this damn movie. And your face just pop up and you go, all right, small fry. I remember that line so clear. I was like, wow, they got a black lady in Spider-Man. And I remembered you. And I'm thinking, what was the journey, if you can share with us, from All right, small fry, you're gonna get a shot to winning an Oscar.
Well, you just summed it up. All right, small fry, you're going to get a shot. That's my 20 years overnight success story. I did so many movies where my job was to go, he went that away. No, he went that away. He went that away, he went that away. And that was it. And that's kind of the journey of a lot of actors. I'm a journeyman actor. And that's why I don't take it lightly that I've been given this beautiful opportunity. But that's the story for a lot of us. I represent a lot of actors who got their start with, he went that way. No, he went that way. And that's what your job was for years and years.
Wow.
You come in and you do a line, and then you hope to be on to the next gig.
Good for you.
Now, Octavia,
you.
completing that trajectory since Heather B took us back, moving forward with post winning this Oscar, we saw with Monique how she explained how she had to now enter the game, and if she didn't play it correctly, then she would end up blackballed. Did you see a huge difference when your profile rose to that level?
Well, let me just tell you, it is a business, and I understand that because I'm a businesswoman.
Hey.
Hello, let's talk business. That's why when I sat down, we got the food situation out of the way.
We got it.
That's
Forward. I
business.
like that.
That's business.
No emotion.
No emotion,
Yeah.
as long as we understand it.
Yeah.
But no, there are certain things that you're going to have to do when you get to a certain level. Meaning, if you do a film, they're going to want you to promote it. If you write a book, they're going to want you to promote it. Otherwise, who's going to know that you're in it? And I understand that. As far as game playing, I'm too old, and there's too much left to do. I understand what she's saying, but it's not my reality. I mean, my reality is when you sign on to do something, you go out and you do everything you can to make awareness of it, bring people's awareness to that job. Yeah. So that's what I do. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
How about like now when you walk in the streets, it got to be different for you now, right? Than the Spider-Man days.
Well, I also live in a little bubble, but yes and no. My thing is I'm always in this, okay, I got to get from point A to point Z. So I'm thinking just inside this little group, I'm just like this. So sometimes as it's unfolding, you're not even aware of it unless you're like tapped in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the most gratifying thing is to see little kids when they are like, hey, I want to be you when I grow up. I'm like, what? All right then. Because you don't realize that you have that effect on people or that your story has affected them in any way.
Was Viola Davis, was that person for you?
Viola Davis, we met on a show called City of Angels. We had like a couple of scenes together, but our friendship really cemented when we did The Help. I talked to Viola when she is not being Viola, working every other day, but we talk every week and sometimes multiple times a week, but we talk a lot, and she really, really influenced me and made me understand how things work. Like, okay, this is what's going to be happening, and this is what you can expect. And there's no book, there's no formula, and unless you have someone there to say this is what you should expect, you really don't understand what's happening. And that's why when she told me to don't get the cart ahead of the horse, live each moment in that moment. That way you don't miss anything. And I'm forever grateful to her for that.
Well, Octavia Spencer is here, and I'm sitting there thinking as you were talking how you said you kind of in some ways live in a bubble, because once you have your mind set on something, you move straight ahead, straight forward. And when we first met in the hallway, I was asking you about Ninja Task, because I was reading a book, and you were headed to the bathroom.
One thing. I'm like, I got to get there. I got to get in there.
You did tell me that.
Yeah.
We got to do the Ninja Task later, unless you're trying to come in the bathroom with me and do the Ninja Task.
Well, the Ninja Task at that moment was go to the bathroom. You got to go.
You got to go.
So that was a Ninja Task.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about Ninja Task and Randy Rhoads' Ninja Detective, this book you have. And I want to open up the phone lines as well, 888-742-3345.
I really need a maid.
Yeah, it is, man. That's from The Help. Octavia Spencer is here, Academy
Really, I
Award winner.
do.
Wow.
I do.
You have this book, and recently released last week, Randy Rhoads' Ninja Detective.
Yes.
The sweetest heist in history.
Yes.
And where did this? Like, have you always wanted to be an author? This isn't your first.
It's not my first.
Yeah.
Well, what happened with me, when I was about 6, I realized I was not the best reader, and I didn't understand why words came out, a little jumbled on the page and fragmented sentences. And I'm thinking, who let these people write these books? They're so ridiculous. And then I realized it was the way my brain processed information, and I would always disengage from the narrative instead of staying engaged. And the thing that kept me engaged, a teacher suggested that I read Encyclopedia Brown, and she kept saying, well, you don't know what's going to be a clue. And that kept me reading, and it kept me invested in the story. So I became a much better reader, and it just kind of made me soar. So I decided that if I ever got the opportunity, I would put all the things that I loved in one spot. Sleuthing and ice cream and Bruce Lee, because I always saw myself as Bruce Lee's sidekick, honey. Woo! Don't mess with me. Until then, I realized I don't like to be hit.
Let me see your Bruce Lee again. Let me see your.
So quick.
Hey,
She keep it low too.
You see that? You see that? See, you don't come too close. Don't come too close. These are lethal weapons. But I also realized that I probably, because I don't like being hit and I don't want to hit anybody, that I might not be good as Bruce Lee's sidekick. But I wanted to put all those things in one place. And the other thing is, at the end of each chapter, in your science book, you would always have the glossary and the experiments. I love that. So I wanted to make it an interactive book so that kids who really are interested in being detectives could get real detective practicals to do.
Well, because I was looking at the ninja task that you offer at the end of the book.
Yes.
And a couple of things you suggest to kids to improve on their ninja skills and techniques. And I wanted to know if you tried some of these. And in Appendix C, it says, eat some flowers. And so I don't know, Octavia. I know you can't cook flowers. We figured that out. Raw
flowers, okay? They're raw.
Okay, raw flowers? Did you actually, it says rose petals or any other edible flower, violets, violas, pansies. Be sure to ask if a flower is edible before you eat it, and never use flowers that may have been sprayed with pesticides.
Exactly. Well, you know how I got that whole idea, because with the flowers, is at a restaurant one time, I thought, oh, these are so pretty. They put these little petals on your plate, and some of them got sprinkled in with the sushi, and it was like, now what is going on? And then I thought, well, that'll be like, I just want the sushi. I don't want the flowers. Yeah, like, am I paying extra for that rose petal? What's happening? But no, then I just thought it would be kind of fun to include it in the mystery. Things that you would normally not take in context, just making it, integrating it into the story.
Now, it's pretty cool. One of the tricks you talked about, too, is, let me find this one page, Heather. You'll be able to relate to this.
Yeah, I related to the flowers because you could put one in the hibiscus.
In a drink.
Yeah, you could drink that.
But we opened a locked door. Now, Heather's from Jersey, and a lot of people are skilled at opening locked doors.
Oh, you know what?
Steal a lot of cards.
It's the carjacking capital.
But you kind of teaching somebody how to break in, because I've done this.
Well,
Things you need to open a locked door: a plastic card, an old credit card, school ID, a library card. That's it. Take the card and insert it into the crack in between the door and frame about 2 inches. You teaching people how to. You've given up game.
Well, let me just tell you, if you get locked out of your bedroom, this is if you get locked out of the house.
Oh, okay.
This is the practical, like, hey, Mom, I got locked out. Oh, well, here's how I get back in.
Oh, I was thinking if you wanted to, like, break into a diamond store.
The heist.
From Oakland, Octavia. That's what it's like. Oh, this is some good advice.
It's the ninja detective.
The ninja detective.
Don't have the detectives after you.
Okay, and I read that you're fascinated with the FBI and forensic.
I am. I really am.
Yeah.
You know what? One of the things, if you put this long list of the things that I dream to do, I always wanted to be a profiler with the FBI. Always. I mean, I'm like, ooh. And I do that now. I still profile things. And people, he did it. Yep, it was him. It was him. It was, the wife did it. It was the wife. And I do. I watch all of my case study shows. That's what my TV is on, like the Forensic Files, the New Detectives. That's what I do.
wow.
That's
Okay.
me. That's who I am in a nutshell.
Okay, I like that.
It's crazy because now that you said that, I once read that Shonda Rhimes was into like medical books very young, very early. It was the reason why she ended up writing Grey's Anatomy. You and becoming successful, you doing what you doing. You think one day you'll write a show, like, sort of like one of these detective shows?
Well, absolutely. That's my dream, actually, is to do a show where I get to be a detective and a woman detective and be a mom or whatever on this side, but get to it's the thing that I enjoy doing the most.
Wow. All right. Good.
Okay, we got Mike on the line from Chicago.
What up, Mike?
Big Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Cool. Hi, Octavia. What's going on?
You, Mike, you are going on.
Crazy cool. All right, Octavia. I was wondering. You're such a talented actor.
Thank you.
But one of the things that I think makes you particularly so amazing is you're incredibly good at dramatic. You're also incredibly funny.
Oh.
Just looking forward, I mean, do you want to go more in one direction over the other?
No, I think comedy is actually the harder of the two genres to do. That's why when you see, the Kevin Harts and the Melissa McCarthy's out there who are so good at it, it's like, just give me an ounce of that. But I don't want to have to carry a comedic movie because, then you start worrying, am I funny when the stakes are, to me, it's all the same. Because, when you're in a dramatic situation at home and you're so upset and then you laugh about it days later because it was so funny, but at the same time, it was very dramatic.
Yeah.
That's what I find is finding the humor in the most dramatic moments.
Okay, I try to do that in relationships.
You know what?
Laugh it
Get
off.
out of here.
Jenny's on the line from Detroit. Good morning, Jenny. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Say hello to Octavia Spencer.
How are you?
Oh, how are you?
I'm blessed, honey. Blessed.
This is so amazing to talk to you. It's like an early graduation present for me.
Oh, how old are you?
I'm 28, but I'm graduating with my master's in social work this week.
Oh,
so.
honey, congratulations.
Wow.
Congratulations.
But I just wanted to call and let you know that you are just such an inspiration. My daughter, I'm Arabic. My daughter's biracial, and we just love you. We watch Red Band Society. We've been out on that. Are you coming back with that?
Okay, your daughter likes Red Band Society because of all those cute little boys. Let's just be
She
real.
loves you, too. She loves you. She said, I loved her.
Oh,
and
well,
she
thank
saw
you.
you on the Grammys. Not on the Grammys, on the Oscars.
Oh.
Walked in the box, and she was like, there she is. She was freaking, yeah.
Well, my date to the Oscars just happened to be one of my Red Band co-stars, but Red Band Society was canceled in December, so those 13 episodes are all there are of Red Band Society.
You worked with one of our good friends, Astro, too.
Astro is no joke. What a talented young man.
Yeah.
I love him. Love him.
He's a fire spitter, too. His MC skills are
Yeah, he
quite
got
amazing.
MC skills.
Octavia, if you ever want to battle him. Okay, before you go, I know you have to go. I want to remind people, get this book, Randy Rose, Ninja Detective, the sweetest heist in history. Read it to your kids. Read it with your kids. Read it yourself. Adults could like it, too, because I got caught up in the first chapter. But before you go, DB is our movie junkie, and if you were to walk away and not have a chance to interact with him, he'll probably quit. So he came up with a quick game.
Okay.
And it's called Knowledge of Self. All right, real quick. Since you like solving mysteries, we came up with a game where you have to figure out what you said in these movies.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Okay. Yes.
Line number 1.
Don't y'all got nothing better to do than be haul another black man out the jail?
That was SWAT.
Oh,
Okay,
damn.
she got that
said
right.
it was easy. All right.
She knows herself. All right.
Line number 2.
Yeah, some guy asking about you. Look like a cop.
Oh, that's Bad Santa.
Damn, okay.
Damn.
You got a hard one in there, bro?
I told you, this is what I do. He went that way, he went that way.
So you know you
I know that one line.
Okay.
All right. Number 3.
Therefore, I had no reason to worry about my grandbaby.
Fruitvale Station.
Nope.
Oh, no, that's black or white.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
I'm going to keep going.
One more?
One more.
Okay,
Let
one more.
me see if I can get better.
One day, everybody gonna know your name.
That was easy.
Okay.
Get on up.
That's right.
Yeah, it is. All right. Okay, well,
All right.
pretty good.
Damn it.
Pretty good. Octavia, it's been quite a pleasure having you on our show.
The pleasure was all mine.
And please come back and we'll teach you how to cook.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll have some food.
Okay, and then you guys make sure you pick up the book, Randy Rhoads Ninja Detective, The Sweetest Heist in History. And what's next for you?
What's next for me? I am gonna try to play God in this movie called The Shack.
Yeah.
And then I go to Atlanta to do the next installment of Divergent called Allegiant.
Oh man, I love that series. Mekhi Phifer.
Mekhi.
That's my dude. I
This
know.
is my life of Mekhi Phifer.
Okay,
Wow.
right.
See
Okay.
what? There you go.
I always thought God was a black woman too. That makes so much sense to me.